Good evening, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. It's Thursday night, June 6th. Good to have everyone here. We're talking about Gavin Newsom. I'm not going to delay this any longer than I have to. My name is Matthew Spear. I'm the host of Don't Unfriend Me. Good to have you here. He wants to take your guns. Everybody knows Democrats want to take guns, even though they pretend, oh no, we just want gun reform. We just want common sense gun laws. Yeah, well, by stripping all of it. I have a cautionary tale for you. I have a video to show you. First, if you would take a look, do us a favor also. Please give us a like, follow, and share across all social media. That would mean a great deal. Let me go ahead and play this video for you. I think it's time for you to take a look, and I'll be right back.
Every time it's the same. They tell us we can't stop these massacres. They tell us we have to stand by and watch tragedy after tragedy unfold in our communities. They say we can't stop domestic terrorism without violating the Second Amendment, and that thoughts and prayers are the best we can do. I'm here to say that's a lie. In this country, we do have the power to change things, to reclaim our freedom from fear. Our ability to make a more perfect union is literally written into the Constitution. So today, I'm proposing the 28th Amendment to the United States Constitution to do just that. The 28th Amendment permanently enshrines 4 additions to the laws of our land. It raises the minimum age to purchase a firearm from 18 to 21. Because if you can't buy a beer, you shouldn't be able to buy a gun. It mandates universal background checks to prevent truly dangerous people from purchasing a gun that can be used in a crime. It institutes reasonable waiting periods for all gun purchases, and it bans civilians from buying assault rifles, those weapons of war our founding fathers never foresaw. This will guarantee states as well the ability to enact common sense gun safety laws while leaving the Second Amendment intact and respecting America's gun-owning tradition. The 28th locks in the common sense constitutional protections that Democrats, Republicans, independents, and gun owners overwhelmingly support. And it ensures NRA-owned politicians can never strip those protections away. This fight won't be easy, and it certainly won't be fast. Convening a constitutional convention requires 2/3 of the states to call for this. California will be the first. But that's just the beginning. Join us by going to campaignfordemocracy.com and signing the petition. To protect our communities and protect our freedom, support the 28th.
Listen, there's so many things that I want to do to tear that video apart, and I will on the live show tomorrow. If you want to tune in at 8:30, Amy, Leroy, Olivia, and I will kind of dissect that. We're also going to do a cool segment about looking at old campaign commercials and trying to pick the very worst, cringeworthy commercials. You should bring yours too with us on Friday. The cautionary tale of Gavin Newsom, dissecting that video would be easy. Instead, I want to kind of just put it in story tale form because he acts like a child. And I think if we go ahead and make it more of like a Disney or some sort of tale like that, Snow White, Cinderella, it might be easier for people to swallow. Once upon a time in the vibrant and diverse state of California, there was a man named Gavin Newsom. Newsom was a charismatic and ambitious politician, had big dreams for the Golden State, of course he did. He believed that his progressive policies would transform California into a utopia where every resident would prosper and thrive. Little did the people know that Newsom's tenure as governor would eventually lead to the ruin of their beloved state and my former state. One of the key issues that plagued California under Governor Newsom's horrible leadership was the economy. And despite the state's abundant resources and potential, it seemed to struggle under his policies. High taxes burdened businesses, driving many to relocate to other states with friendlier business environments. As a result, job opportunities dwindled and unemployment rates soared. In the early days of his governorship, Newsom wasted no time in implementing his agenda. He advocated for strict environmental regulations and pushed for complete transition to renewable energy sources. While the goal of the cleaner and greener California seemed noble, Newsom's policies burdened businesses with excessive regulations and skyrocketing energy costs. As a result, Many companies were forced to relocate or shut down completely, especially with his decisions on COVID. This led to a staggering loss of jobs and a weakened economy in California. Newsom's next target was the healthcare system, and he championed the idea of promising affordable and accessible care for Californians? Not quite, illegal immigrants. However, his ambitious plan quickly turned into a nightmare. The state's healthcare system became overburdened and inefficient, with long wait times and a shortage of doctors. Taxpayers were left to foot the bill for his failed experiment, facing higher taxes and diminishing quality of care. Furthermore, Governor Newsom's policies on immigration drew criticism from both sides of the political spectrum. Some believe that his lax stance on illegal immigration strained public resources and impacted job opportunities for legal residents. Others argued that his refusal to cooperate with federal immigration authorities compromised public safety, which it did. Education was another area where Newsom's policies fell short. He advocated for increased funding for public schools, but failed to address the underlying issues plaguing the educational system, the teachers. The state's schools continued to struggle with low graduation rates, overcrowded classrooms, and a lack of resources, which impacted the teachers. And then, of course, there were the unions that forgave all inexcusable grades that somehow became excusable. Newsom's promises of improved education were nothing more than empty rhetoric, leaving students and parents disillusioned and frustrated with also not being able to make decisions, the most important ones in their lives, without begging their children to tell them the truth, because teachers and principals decided that parents didn't need to know. Perhaps the most damaging aspect of Newsom's governorship was his mishandling of the state's finances. Despite California's already high tax rate, Newsom implemented even more tax increases, burdened the hardworking residents of the state. And meanwhile, he squandered taxpayer dollars on pet projects and wasteful government spending, furthermore exacerbating the state's financial woes. Another area of concern was public safety. While Governor Newsom touted he supported for gun control, crime rates continued to rise. Some argued that the restrictive gun laws primarily affected law-abiding citizens, leaving them vulnerable to criminals who obtained firearms through illicit means. This sparked a heated debate about the effectiveness of the governor's approach to reducing crime. When asked about this, he simply told reporters, "Well, criminals will get guns either way. We're not worried about that. It's going to happen." Interesting. As the years passed, the consequences of Newsom's misguided policies became increasingly apparent. California's economy crumbled under the weight of excessive regulations and high taxes, driving businesses and residents away. Homelessness skyrocketed, with tent cities sprouting up across the state. Crime rates soared as law enforcement agencies struggled with reduced funding and a lack of support from the government's office. The people of California grew wary of Newsom's empty promises and ineffective leadership. They yearned for a leader who would prioritize their well-being and address the pressing issues facing the state. Finally, the day of reckoning arrived when Newsom faced a recall election. The people seized the opportunity to voice their discontent, and in a historic turn of events, they voted not to remove him from office? What type of story is this? And so the story of Gavin Newsom and his disastrous tenure as governor serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the importance of sound leadership, responsible governance, and the need to prioritize the well-being of people above all else. Well, at least some of the people in California. Oh, and Newsom has now proposed the 28th Amendment, and this is where the story that is all true seems more of a nightmare. The 28th Amendment. Today, he called for the Convention of States. California is already trying to run the rest of the country when they can't even run their own state. The Convention of States is to propose a constitutional amendment to restrict gun rights. This amendment would absolutely decimate the Second Amendment. It would raise the minimum age from 18 to 21, mandate universal background checks, institute a waiting period, and ban all assault weapons, semi-automatic weapons, which is everything. It would also give Congress and states power to enact any gun laws they see fit. So great, we can have a pump-action shotgun, a blunderbuss, a single bolt action. Wonderful. A convention of states is a dangerous gambit from a desperate man who wants to circumvent the courts by luring states into opening the Constitution for a complete gutting and overhaul. Once the states decide to do that, everything is on the table, from justices to states to speech to the Bill of Rights. Don't let Newsom, California, America, learn from his atrocities and failures in the once great state of California, because he may not be running in 2024, but he is priming for a run in 2028. If we don't get our crap together, this guy could be president, and our Constitution will be a thing of the past. Folks, share the cautionary tale that is more of just a recap of what he has done. Now, on the national stage, he believes he can make an impact. This is the type of impact he will have. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Please do me a favor, like, share, and follow the show at The Dumb Show. And you can also go to thedumbshow.com to get some cool hats and shirts and coffee and all that type of stuff. I think it's shirts and hats, but whatever. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We'll be live Friday night. Stop by and see us at The Dumb Show. Thanks for watching tonight. God bless. I will go out like I always do with the Veteran Crisis Hotline. Please do me a favor. Take care of vets. If you see a vet struggling, give them this number. I will see you tomorrow night.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important, you are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call